All right, so the NHL did rule today. There was some talk about whether or not they would rule on the weekend and announce it, but they've announced it today. Zach Kassian, who was in the midst of what about this? He was in a dog pile, and Cernak's on top, so he kicks Cernak to get away. And his statement is, "I was just getting myself untangled from the dog pile. I didn't mean anything vicious by it." The NHL says that's fine, but it is reckless use of your skate. It is kicking, and due to the fact that he's a repeat offender at 7 games, which tells you that if he wasn't a player with a track record, it would have been less than 7 games. So nobody appears to be happy right now. Most wanted 10 plus. I didn't necessarily think it would be 10 plus. I thought 8 to 10 was probably about right, and 7, fine. I did do a podcast today where I basically stated it doesn't really matter. This is Kassian's temperament is part of his game, and his temper works both in your favor and to your detriment as a team. When it's in your favors, when he's scoring goals, he can be one of the most exuberant players on the bench. He can, have that enthusiasm can be really, really strong for the team. But when his temperament goes the other way, and he does have these outbursts or these moments where he's not really thinking on the ice, it can cost the team. So for the Oilers, they have to be breathing somewhat of a sigh of relief, because if they wanted to throw the book at him, it could have been 20 games, could have been 25. They went with 7. So that's, 2.5 weeks. They obviously won't have him tomorrow when they're in Florida, so that's going to be trouble for the Edmonton Oilers, and we'll see how things go from here. I know nobody's going to be happy about this suspension. There are people who didn't think there should be one. They did a poll on Tim and Sid, and 24% of the votes said no suspension, and about 45% of the votes said more than 10 games. So that tells you there's maybe 30% of people who go, yeah, that's about right, and 70% that are either on the side of nothing or everything. So there you go. They didn't throw the kitchen sink at him, and 7 games is a substantial suspension. And again, they're acknowledging it wasn't really that violent of a kick, but again, it's kicking, and you can't be kicking somebody with your skate. And as for people waiting for me to make a Happy Gilmore reference, he took his skate off and tried to stab somebody with it. Nobody'd ever done that before. Nobody's done it since. So, and again, it feels more like it was a reactionary moment of not thinking. And the biggest thing for this is he hasn't exactly been contrite about it either. But again, that's a whole other discussion we will be having for forever. Zach Kassian's name will get mentioned, I'm sure, again, when it comes to player safety issues. It's just his game. He lives on the edge, and that edge does include suspensions. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts. I know you're going to be on one side or the other. There's going to be some saying, you know what, it's not that bad. There are going to be some that say it's too much, and then some who bring up other incidents altogether, because that's where we're at now. So let me know your thoughts, and I'm sure you will. Too harsh, too much, too little, or just about right. Let me know where we are. And again, for me, I'm on the just about right part of things. It was a stupid, reckless move, but I don't think he meant any vicious intent either. And again, you could probably find an angle where he looks angry, the one where he looks angry and he's bringing his foot back to kick him. But again, I think it was just a reckless play. But let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing right through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.